Now, Rochelle Foster, the woman who was found guilty of manslaughter in relation to the death of late reggae girl Terania Plum Plum Clark, has been sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. But Clark's relatives, who were inside the home circuit court but not inside the courtroom when the sentence was handed down, were left fuming Friday afternoon. A minimum of 10 years. That was the expectation of a few of Clark's relatives who turned up at the home circuit court on Friday morning. They, however, left a bitterly disappointed family as they felt they were shortchanged on 2 counts. Firstly, they missed the opportunity to be inside the courtroom when the sentence was being handed down. This as the sentencing, which was originally set for 10 a.m., was rescheduled to 2 p.m. However, much to the annoyance of the family members, Justice Leighton Pusey handed down the sentence at 11 a.m. But before arriving at the sentence, Justice Pusey performed a balancing act. He began at 7 years before adding 2 years for aggravating factors, pointing out that a knife was used to stab the victim who was unarmed. Highlighting the mitigating factors, he shaved off 1 year, noting that Foster had no previous conviction, her age, and a positive community report. He also subtracted 18 months for time spent in custody. Foster was subsequently sentenced to 6.5 years at hard labour. In the meantime, Foster's attorney, Courtney Rowe, said he's disappointed with the verdict.
When you look at the evidence that was presented by the prosecution, their main or sole eyewitness painted my client as the instigator, which is why the prosecution went with the charge of murder. Based on the utterance of the foreman on behalf of the jury, in my opinion, it is clear that they did not believe the evidence presented by the sole eyewitness. And I believe that in such an instance, when you're presented with one of 2 stories to choose from, if you disregard one, then it means you're leaning in favor of the other.
Rowe said his client acted in self-defense and should have been acquitted when she was found guilty of manslaughter on January 18.
So we believe that, if the adequate summation were given, then we would have gotten an acquittal, because it is clear, even on the Crown's case, that my client did not intend to kill. There was no premeditation, and self-defense was presented even in the caution statement that the prosecution tendered into evidence.
Clark was killed on November 1, 2019 at the age of 20. She captained the Waterhouse team in the National Women's League and featured for the Reggae Girls on several occasions, including at the Pan Am Games and Olympic qualifiers.